exploring the turbulent early days of Indonesia-Singapore relations. When Indonesia faced insurgent uprisings in 1957, foreign munitions merchants arrived in Singapore to supply firearms to insurgents in Sumatra and Sulawesi. Lee Kuan Yew, then an opposition leader, in a private meeting in 1958 with the Indonesian Consul General, Lieutenant General Jatikusumo, vowed to eject the dealers if his party took power. Upon assuming office, he fulfilled his pledge, earning an invitation from Jatikusumo to visit Jakarta, where the new Singaporean leadership met President Sukarno in August 1960. Indonesia before independence. In a fascinating 1960 meeting, Sukarno and Lee Kuan Yew engaged in a captivating discussion, comparing the two nations. Sukarno inquired about Singapore's size, sparking an intriguing contrast. With 1.5 million people versus Indonesia's 100 million, and 10,000 vehicles compared to Jakarta's 50,000, Indonesia dominated Southeast Asia. But its prosperity was still not quiet in sight. The clashes between Indonesian patriots and the Netherlands Dutch forces, which erupted sporadically from 1945 to 1949, ravaged the economy and crippled infrastructure. Nationalization of foreign firms and Sukarno's protectionist policies stifled global commerce and investment, plunging the vast nation into poverty. The Dutch legacy in Indonesia was sparse, leaving a scarcity of skilled professionals and a dearth of institutions to propel the nation forward. 3.5 years of Japanese dominance had devastated the existing infrastructure, plunging the country into further chaos. During the historic meeting of Sukarno and Lee Kuan Yew, Yew noted that God had blessed Indonesia with very fertile soil, a favorable climate, and abundant resources. Sukarno reflected solemnly that God is for us, but we are against ourselves. As Indonesia's economy plunged, Sukarno launched daring foreign escapades. His foreign minister, Subandrio, ominously warned Lee Kuan Yew, all the tall buildings in Singapore were built by stolen money from Indonesia through smuggling, and one day, Indonesia will come here and look after this country and put this right. Early relationship between Indonesia and Singapore. In 1965, Singapore's independence sparked a fiery confrontation with Indonesia. President Sukarno's regime attempted to lure Singapore with tempting offers, but a dramatic shift occurred on September 30th, 1965, with the Gestapo incident, as General Suharto crushed a communist coup. With the backing of loyal troops, Suharto issued a stern ultimatum to the rebel forces, prompting a dramatic retreat. The attempted coup was thwarted. Meanwhile, Singapore's leaders were distracted by the brutal massacre of Indonesian generals and the subsequent slaughter of thousands, including ethnic Chinese alleged to be communist sympathizers. Suharto orchestrated a masterful takeover, subtly manipulating the situation like a puppeteer in a traditional wayang kulit performance, gradually consolidating power and eclipsing Sukarno's authority. Adam Malik, the newly appointed Indonesian foreign minister, maintained a consistent stance. In March 1966, Sukarno issued a landmark decree empowering General Suharto to take drastic measures to ensure security and stability. Lee Kuan Yew remained skeptical about Sukarno's downfall, given his captivating grip on the nation. It wasn't until February 1967 that Suharto was officially sworn in as acting president by the National Assembly, marking a significant turning point in Indonesian history. By June 1966, Suharto's grip was solid, paving the way to cease confrontation with Singapore and Malaysia. Bilateral ties gradually warmed up. Indonesia launched exploratory economic missions to Singapore in June and July 1966, largely a publicity stunt. Singapore retaliated with a trade delegation in August. A breakthrough came with a groundbreaking $150 million pact, as Singapore offered a significant credit line to Indonesian traders and allowed Bank Negara Indonesia to restart operations. The two nations forged a historic pact to revive bilateral trade on an equal footing. Indonesian ports welcomed Singaporean vessels once more. Plans were set in motion to permit Singaporean banks to establish Indonesian outposts, pending legislative tweaks. However, the banks that eventually opened faced turmoil during Indonesia's financial meltdown, putting their loans in jeopardy. Historic hurdles hindered the revival of ties, misconceptions on governance, safety, and commerce, disputes over coastal borders, naval routes, and regulating bilateral trade. Singapore's free port status made smuggling claims of Indonesia misleading. Singapore leadership struggled to grasp the complexities of Indonesia and took an eternity to decipher the maze of bureaucratic red tape, uncovering its hidden gems and cultural nuances along the way. Subscribe and follow this channel for more thrilling videos. Thank you for watching Lessons Untold. Relax, review, reflect.